Hey guys, it's Dave here. I'm just coming from Thailand. I'm actually right now filming, and I've got the pool and the great scenery behind me. It's pretty exciting. If you hear any sounds of vehicles, there's probably some tuk-tuks. Anyway, this video here today is about 3 steps to financial freedom. And by the way, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not any qualified advice. In fact, I'm just really sharing my experiences of what I've learnt in the last few years. Now, I've just finished reading this book by Tony Robbins called Unshakable, and I've got to tell you, it was a great book, and it's one of those great books that helps to instill in you the important things when it comes to investing and saving and all those kind of things. He has another really great book called Money Master the Game as well. So there's 2 great books by Tony Robbins I've read, Unshakable and Money Master the Game. I would recommend those 2 books to anyone who would want to achieve financial freedom in their life. So this video is going to be about 3 things you can do that can put you on the path of achieving financial success in your life. So what are the 3 things? Well, let's go through the first one. The first one is, earning money. Probably the most important skill you can develop when it comes to money is the ability to earn it. And some people shy away from that because they feel money is bad in some way. But I'm sure by now you've already heard that money doesn't change who you are. Money just makes you more of who you already are. So if you're a generous person, then money's going to make you more generous, right? But if you're a greedy person, money will probably make you more greedy. So the illusion that people that earn money are bad in some way is not true. It just makes you more of who you already are. All right, so let's get that one straight from the start. Now, hey, how do you earn money? Well, you can earn money in so many different ways. But I read this book. Another great book I'd recommend is Robert Kiyosaki's The Cash Flow Quadrant, and in that book he kind of talks about the 4 different ways you can earn money. And the first way is you can work for somebody else, so you get a job working for somebody else. The second way is you can work for yourself, be self-employed, and create your own business. The third way is you could be a business owner, where you have people working for you. And the last way is you're an investor, where you earn money through your investments. So there's 4 different ways you can earn money. And so you're basically going to choose 1 or 2 or maybe multiple ways you can earn money. But that is your most important skill to develop, the ability to earn money in your life. Because without money in your life, without money coming to your life, you can't achieve financial success or financial freedom. So you really need that skill to happen, to be on fire, all right? And one thing I would recommend is, developing a passion for something that can earn you money. For example, when I was about 17, I think in year 12 in high school, I remember I really fell in love with teaching drums. And one of the things I did back then was I started teaching a few people how to learn the drums. And from that, obviously I received a fee, a payment, a commission, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing. So I actually kind of created a plan where I could teach multiple people, like 10, 20, 30, 40 people to learn the drums and receive that income. And because it was something I was passionate about, it didn't feel like work. It didn't feel like I was, doing anything boring or something that wasn't in line with what I like to do. So I would highly advise you to find what you're passionate about in life and find a way to monetize that. Because if you find what you're passionate about, if you find what you really enjoy, and you share that with other people, that can be a great way to earn money. And you might have heard the saying, find something you love to do, and you never have to work another day in your life. All right, so that's step 1. Find a way to earn money. All right, but really, by now that there's lots of people that have earned a lot of money in their life, but they end up broke. They end up, they don't have any money. They've earned millions of dollars, but they've got nothing to show for it. And literally, it happens to a lot of people. So we don't want to become one of those casualties. So that's where step 2 comes in. And that is step 2 is you're going to learn to save your money, right? You're going to learn to save your money, right? So maybe it's a portion of what you're earning. You might choose a certain amount. Many books, like say The Richest Man in Babylon, which is a really great book on financial success, it talks about, saving 10% of what you earn. And most financial gurus, they say 10%, 15%. I think, it varies on which author or which guru you listen to, that they'll give you a different amount. But at least 10% is a good amount. So if you have earned $100 and you put aside $10 from your income, or if you earn $1,000, put aside $100. It's like a minimum. Some people even save as much as 50%. So it's pretty crazy, all right? Now, you're not going to save this money. You're not going to save it for a car or a holiday or anything. This 10% you put aside is for step 3, right? It's step 3. So let's go through the steps so far. So you've got step 1, which is you're earning some money. You've found a way to earn money, hopefully through something you're passionate about. And step 2 is you're saving 10% at least. But some people, as you know, save as much as 50%. So you're going to develop the habit of saving at least 10%. And then you go to step 3. Now, step 3 is where the plan really takes a whole new level. Right? Step 3 is where you're going to invest it. Right? You're going to invest the money. Right? And you're going to invest it in, say, something that's going to grow. Now, I'll give you an example of what not to invest in. Right? When I was about 19 years old, I remember I spent a whole year working a job. Right? I worked at, I think it was Red Rooster. I spent a whole year working there, and I saved everything. I saved 100%. Like, I didn't spend $1 from what I earned for a whole year. So I was really good at, I guess, working. Not that I was passionate about it, but I was good at working. I was good at saving. But step 3, I remember, I was 19 and I had all this money saved up. I think it was around $10,000 or $12,000 I'd saved from working at Red Rooster that whole year. And I was only working a couple of hours a day, but I had saved all this money. And my mum, she said to me, "Dave, what are you going to do with the money?" And I said, "I'm going to buy a car." And she said, "Dave, there's a house on the corner that's for sale, and it's $120,000. You should look at, investing in that property." And I said, "Mum, I want to get a car. I want to get this car," because I had my eyes set on this car at the time. I believe it was a VL Calais, and a Holden VL Calais. And so I actually ended up buying this car. It was about just under $10,000, and the insurance level was about $2,000. So I ended up spending about $12,000 on this car. Like, all the money I'd saved and worked for went straight on this car. Anyway, it was my first car, and I'm going to tell you, about 6 months later, I actually kind of had a bit of a car accident, and that car was written off. So literally, I lost about $4,000 to $5,000 on that car, just like that, because the insurance, the premium, and the money I got back from the car was not what I paid for it. So I lost about $4,000 to $5,000. Now, that house that was selling for $120,000, now it's probably worth 3 times that. It's probably worth about $350,000, close to $400,000, I'd say, at least. All these years later. So, and it's about 19 years later or something now. Well, that was in 2001, so we're in 2019, so that's about 18 years later. That happened. That was 18 years ago. So the moral of that story, the lesson I learned was, to invest in smart investments. And a car is not an investment. All right, cars go down in value. 99% of cars go down in value, right? And I've heard one person say, if it moves, don't invest in it. So I learned my lesson pretty well from that. And I eventually, I came across the idea of investing in shares. And I trialed out various, investing strategies. And I eventually came across one that I felt really connected to. And that's one I've learned from Tony Robbins and also many great financial authors. I'm going to recommend one book that really changed my thinking with investing, and that was The Millionaire Teacher by Andrew Hallam. And that's a really great book because in that book he outlined a strategy for investing in the stock market that some people are kind of scared off by the stock market, but really it's nothing to be afraid of because literally you're investing in businesses. I mean, if you have an Apple iPhone, then you're a consumer, but what if you actually were an owner of Apple and you actually owned the company, or at least you're a part of an owner? Well, you could be. You can simply invest in Apple. So you can literally become a business owner through the stock market. And that's exactly what I focused on doing. And although you could buy individual companies, that's not something I did. I actually started focusing on buying what they call index funds. So I was buying a fund that owns all these different companies within it. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail in this. All I'll say is that that's the most efficient and the best way you can minimize risk is through owning index funds, because you're not investing in individual stocks that could go down in value. You're investing in a fund that is literally invested in multiple companies. So that's the way I particularly invest. But I'm not going to go into detail in this video because I just don't want to make this video about that index fund. I'll probably talk about that in another particular video. But that's the strategy I got into. I was investing in index funds, and the power of investing is huge. Let's give an example of the power of compound interest. Say you saved $1 a day, right? And you did that every day for 50 years. How much money would you have? You would have $18,250, right? That's how much money you would have, $18,250. But instead of just saving the money, what if you did step 3 and you invested it? So you actually invest it into a fund that gives you 12% per year, which is, I believe, is close to the average of the stock market over the last 50 years. You're investing $1 a day and you're receiving 12% per annum. Now, if you let that $1 compound at the rate of 12%, at the end of 50 years, you're not going to have $18,250. You're actually going to have $1 million. $1 million. And all you've done is saved and invested $1 a day, and you're receiving 12% per annum, but you're reinvesting all the money that you're making, right? You're investing that 12% over and over. So that's the power of compound interest. And all it is that example is showing $1 a day. So that's the power you can get from investing small amounts regularly and reinvesting, right? So that's the 3 steps. That's the 3 steps right now to achieving financial success in your life, okay? So step 1 is earn some money. Find a way to earn money and do it from a place of what you're passionate about, hopefully, so you enjoy it. Because if you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to earn more, because you're not linking pain, you're not associating pain to earning money. You're actually associating pleasure. And the more pleasure you associate to earning money, the more you're going to earn, because you're going to keep on going back and to add value to other people because you love doing it. Step 2 is save some of the money, so at least 10%. But as you know, some people save more, and they save a lot more. And the 3rd step is invest it. Don't invest in cars, holidays, anything that moves, right? Invest in assets. Personally, I like the stock market. I invest in index funds. Find an investment vehicle that works for you. And probably the last thing I'd say, if there was a bonus bit of advice, I would say one of the things that's helped me the most is literally just learning. Learning about investing is going to help you amazingly well, because you can see a licensed professional, or you can simply you can start to read some great books on investing. Read some great books on investing, like Tony Robbins' book, Unshakable, Money Master the Game, Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Cash Flow Quadrant. There's some really good books. I'm going to list these down below. The one that's probably helped me the most was Andrew Hallam's book, The Millionaire Teacher, because that was written by a guy who, he was just an average guy, who was a teacher, like a school teacher, right? And school teachers don't earn a whole lot of money. They just don't. They earn an average income, but it's consistent. And the amount that he earned, or the amount that he got through these 3 steps, through earning money, saving, and investing, the amount that he got was, his portfolio to be over $1 million, and I believe it was by the age of 37. So the power of those 3 steps works for anyone, whether you're a low income earner or a high income earner, right? So those 3 steps are the 3 steps I believe that are the most important. But keep in mind, none of this is financial advice. This is just me sharing, what I've learned, and this is not advice. I'm not giving any financial advice, just simply sharing what I've learned. All right, guys, so I hope you got some value from the video. If you did, put the thumbs up, and look forward to hearing some positive comments from you. So feel free to put some positive comments in the section below, and chat to you guys soon. See you guys.